Hello friends, welcome back. And if it's your first time here, my name is Meg. I post free hair education every single Monday. So let's get into this week's. I am going to take these blonde extensions to this color and these to that brown color and then to this color and then to this color. So I am going to show you the best ways to remove semi-permanent, demi-permanent, and permanent hair color. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways that I like to remove semi-permanent color and why. Now, the most important thing that you are going to learn in this video is the difference between using a color pigment remover treatment before lightening out dark color and what a huge difference that makes versus just going in with lightener on dark hair. But first, let's do some semi-permanent color. So these were just obviously platinum blonde tape-in extensions. I am using Danger Jones semi-permanent color. I put straight Checkmate on the top, and then here on the bottom is straight Oblivion, which is the teal. I was going to use Solitude, which is the blue, but I really wanted to get a little bit of that green in there. So blue, green, and red are usually the 2 hardest colors to get out. So that is what I wanted to do. Next up, I am going to do a demi and a permanent swatch. So I am going to be using Danger Jones gloss toners in just a 3.0. And then on the bottom, I am using Kevin Murphy permanent color also in a 3.0. So when I filmed this, I started to color these like a week and a half ago. And then the epilogue Danger Jones permanent color came to my house and I was like, oh, I already colored it and started the video. So, oh well, at least we have the Danger Jones gloss toners. But from here on, I am so excited about the new Danger Jones permanent color. I've gotten to use them and they are amazing. But for today's video, this is Kevin Murphy with 20 volume. And I am just really saturating. With extensions, you have to go up, down, side to side, all the different directions and get it really in there. You can already start to see the color turning on that permanent. It's so crazy. I did a cool little time-lapse video as it processed. Look at that. You can just see it going dark. All right, that's enough nerding out on oxidation. So here for our first bowl, I am going to be mixing up Malibu CPR with water. This is color pigment remover. Now, normally this treatment I would put in an application bottle and mix it with the water. Then you put it through your client's hair and realistically, you want them to sit under heat for about 45 minutes. Now, I didn't want to just aim a dryer at my little hair extension mat there. So for just this video, I am just going to paint the CPR onto our freshly colored hair. Now, remember, with something like this, this is brand new hair color. It just went on. Normally, when you're removing hair color like this, it's going to already be kind of faded and not this intense. So it's not going to look like it does a lot, but I promise you the inner workings and the structure and how much it's getting out way deep inside the hair strand, it is crazy when you see the difference between hair lightened without CPR and hair lightened with CPR, because I will have both in this video. So we are coating those brown extensions, and then I'm just going to cover it up with this plastic just to try to get a little bit of heat in there. And now we are going to move on to my 3 favorite ways to remove semi-permanent color. DDL with water, DDL with developer, and the Danger Jones color remover. Now, these are very different products. This is the DDL. It is the same company as the CPR, but DDL is short for direct dye lifter. So this is what you will use for semi-permanent color. CPR is what you will use for demi and permanent color. Now we're doing the same thing, mixing that up really good. And with this one, I think this is my favorite way to remove blues. It works better than anything else. Removing blues and greens is the DDL. Now, when you are using this on somebody in your chair, Normally the color is going to be a lot more faded than this. Nobody is really, for the most part, unless they don't like their hair, removing the color when it's brand new and vivid like this. But we need, I just want to show you the real thing, what happens when you use it, and I think this is the best way. So coating that with DDL and water, I think that this is my favorite way to remove color, not only if I'm going to have blues, but if somebody has like highlights or a dark base and you don't want to lift anything, because these other two have developer and they will lift natural color. So if you do not want to lift somebody's lowlights or roots or anything like that, use the DDL with water and it will not mess up anything on their natural hair. But I am just going to saturate this second one with DDL and 10 volume developer. I just used Danger Jones developer. You can use any developer that you have, and covering it with plastic. Now for this last one, in my opinion, the Danger Jones color remover and DDL when mixed with developer are very similar. I really don't think there is too much of a difference as far as the results I get when I use both of them. I'd say it's fairly equal all the time. So I'm going to do the same thing here and just saturate and really get that coated. But I just really recommend, if you are doing somebody's hair that has lowlights or a dark root, really try to stay off of that when you're using these two removers. Like I said, the DDL with water is fantastic. It will not mess up anything natural, but these two definitely will. You can already see how light these are getting. All of that color is coming out. So that is about 20 minutes in. And then I did these directly after. So I'd say they're about maybe 15 to 10 minutes in. But you can see the color starting to come up. And then I washed out my brown ones first. So you can see here, it definitely got a lot of the color out. Now, whenever you are using CPR, it is so important to shampoo that out. So you want to take them out from the heat. They should have the processing cap on, be under the heat. And then I like to do a double shampoo. So you're going to wash them twice. I like to use something like the K18 Detox shampoo because you really don't want this left in the hair. So really, really scrub it out and wash them really good and get all that CPR out. And then we are going to do the same thing with our other extensions. I am going to wash and shampoo out my DDL and my color remover. Once again, I'm using the K18 Detox shampoo. And look at that. And this one was the DDL with developer. I think it is so fascinating how the DDL with water removes blue better, and then the DDL with developer removes reds and pinks better. I don't know what they did, but it even says it on the back of the DDL that if you're trying to remove stubborn blues, use it with water, and it's just so cool. So this is my new Drop Dead extension mat. It is available on their website, and I just had to show you guys how amazing this is because it just fits around my wash bowl and I can just rinse it off. Like, painting extensions got so much easier with this mat. Thank you a million times, Drop Dead. It is the best invention ever. I love you for thinking of it. But here is our final piece of hair using the Danger Jones color remover. And you will see how the DDL with developer and the DJ color remover are very similar in how they lift it out. So we've got our permanent color here. Definitely got a lot lighter, removed a lot of that pigment. And then this is our demi permanent, which got even lighter. Beautiful. Definitely not almost black brown anymore. Now we are going to go in with our semis. That was the DDL with developer, the Danger Jones color remover, and then this one was the DDL with water. Now we are not done yet, so do not fret. I have more things to show you. So first I decided I needed to do another test strand to show you what it would look like trying to remove permanent color without using CPR. So once again, I am coloring the exact same blonde hair extensions, except this time I'm only going to use one, and I colored permanent on top and demi-permanent on the bottom. Watching it process there, and you know me, it looks so cool. And now getting my Danger Jones gloss toners all through the ends. So I let this process because I think that if you can't see the difference, then you're not going to be able to understand how incredible it is. But we are going to start over doing our DDL with water over here. It looks like it's developer, but I just stirred this bowl a lot better, I think, on the left, but it is DDL with water. And then we have our DDL with developer in the middle, and then we have our Danger Jones color remover to the right. So all of these are going to process one more time. And remember, when somebody is coming in, their hair is going to be more close to the faded side than what we started with. So now I am going to, just for funsies, use the cream lightener on the top half, and I'm going to use the powder lightener on the bottom half of our brown hair that has had the color remover treatment. So this will be the powder lightener down here. You can already see how fast that cream lightener is working. Isn't that crazy? In the time that it took me to mix up my bowl, it already lifted that much. So I just was curious because they both lift 9 levels and I just wanted to see. But you can see me flipping over the extensions, really saturating. And you are going to see why it is so important to use CPR before you bleach. All right, so that was our fully processed new extensions. So same thing, I am not going to use CPR on these. This is our permanent and demi-permanent swatches. I just cut them in half because I decided I wanted to paint one half with the powder lightener and one half with the cream lightener. So once again, this is just dark color on top of blonde hair, no color removing treatment. And the exact same products that I used on the ones next to it. The only difference is I colored them like a week before. So we are saturating those and going to see how they process. And here is our table. You can see all those colors starting to really come out. And I cannot wait to show you what a huge difference it made. It's absolutely crazy, those two that did not have the color remover. Yuck. All right, so here is our DDL with water. Look at that. The blonde is on the bottom. It is not blue anymore at all. So not so great on the peachy red part, but look how it got rid of the blue. It's amazing. So that's our first one. DDL and water. Love it. And then here is our DDL with developer. You can see it still has a little tiny bit of that greeny tone to it, but it really did a great job removing all that red to where it's just like barely there, pastel peach. But almost got rid of all of the blue-green. And then finally, we have our Danger Jones color remover with developer. Shampooing that out once again. And then this is our Danger Jones. Nice and light, still not perfect, but we'll dry that off. All right, so here is our blonde hair. Is this crazy? This is the demi-permanent and permanent swatches that I use the CPR color remover on, and they are almost as light as they were before I colored them. So if you are going to be using lightener on somebody who has previous dark color on their hair, I promise you, use CPR first. I know it's like an hour-long treatment, but it will be so worth it because this is hiding under there. Look at this blonde. That is how light you can get it. Now, wait till you guys see this. Oh my gosh. So here is our demi and permanent color, where we did not use a color removing treatment. It processed for the same exact amount of time with the same lighteners. And what's really crazy to me with this one is the line of demarcation that I had in the middle, because I didn't switch lighteners in the middle. That was just where the permanent color overlapped. So here is our DDL. We'll look at each of them. Look at that blonde on the bottom. Is that amazing? So all of that blue is gone with that DDL and water. And then you can see here the Danger Jones and the DDL with Developer were very similar results. So that was expected. It did a much better job getting the red out than the DDL with water, but DDL with water is the winner on the blue. You can still see that faint bit of blue-green in there. And those are our 3 semis. Look at the difference between the top and the bottom. It's so crazy how the DDL is already like a toned champagne blonde. You don't even need to do anything else. And then our lovely Danger Jones, it tried very hard and did a fantastic job. Like I said, I think DDL and Danger Jones are pretty close when it comes to removing, especially on the reds. They were both very, very pastel peach right there. You can see in the light, really can't tell the difference between the two. So there's our Danger Jones and our DDL with Developer. Very, very super similar results. And I'll just never get over how perfect that blonde is using the DDL with water twice. And now let's move on to these two. So on the left, we have our used color remover, and on the right, we have did not use color remover. And look at that beautiful blonde. These were almost black extensions. And now they still feel great health-wise, and they are back to where they almost started. I bet a little tone and we'd get right there. And then this horrifying mess is what happens when you don't use color removing treatments. So look at that line where that orange and that line of demarcation where they met in the middle, where the permanent and demi overlapped. That is just crazy. So I think you can see why it is so important to use color remover. Look at that blonde compared to that blonde. Yeesh. All right, so let's go back. We started here at these super dark extensions, and here, look at those almost black. And then after one round, we got here, which, remember, this is most likely where the color is going to be sitting when you're removing it, all the way to this. But thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe for more free education every Monday, and I will see you next week. Bye.